and welcome back to my regular viewers. And if you're checking this episode out for the first time, I'm an expat living and working here in Florence. Prior to that, I worked in China, Beijing, for 5 years, and I'm a Melburnian and Aussie by heart. Now, if you haven't been watching some of my previous episodes, it features the Croatian coastline, specifically a small cruise that went for 7 days. Check out those episodes if you're interested. It was a fantastic trip, and I hope you do enjoy those episodes if you haven't explored them previously. So I've just walked over the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, on my way up to the Porta Romana, the Roman gate, one of the 3 original gates that were fortifying Florence 700 years ago. By the way, if you enjoy this episode, give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's keep walking up. So to reach the Porta Romana from historical centre of Florence, you obviously cross the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, which was pretty busy tonight, wasn't it? Saturday, early evening, about 5 p.m. That's the sort of crowds you can expect. So we cross the bridge into the Oltrarno district of Florence, which is a bit more authentic, and we're currently in Santo Spirito, a suburb of the Oltrarno district. The Pitti Palace in the background. It's pretty nice, isn't it? So just around the corner we'll come to the Porta Romana, the Roman gate, one of 3 original gates, still structurally sound. And the Porta Romana is by far the largest of the 3 gates. And the other 2, and I'll show you them. If you've been to Florence, you'll know the gate at San Niccolo, which is the gateway up to the Piazzale Michelangelo. And the 3rd gate is probably quite unknown, and that's the gate on the Arno River down in San Frediano, which is not far from here. Certainly a lot less hectic on this side of the Arno. As I said, it's more authentic, not as busy, and quite nice actually, quite nice. Now, just before we get up to the gate, you might have noticed, if you've been watching my episodes, that the Dubrovnik episode featured some drone footage. It just adds a bit more perspective, doesn't it? A different perspective to a video. So I'm planning to use the drone today as we explore the various walls, gates on the Oltrarno side of Florence. So I hope you're going to look forward to that. Now, the drone I use, it's actually in my pocket, it's quite small, is the Hover Air. And as you can see, it's so handy to use, and importantly, it's under 250 grams. In Europe generally, Italy specifically, the regulations around drones are quite tight, privacy, safety, and so on. However, because this, even though it's under 250 grams, has a camera and a sensor, it does require to be registered. So I'm registered on the D-Flight portal, the portal that's used here in Italy, as is this drone. But here in Florence, don't expect to see any footage inside the historical centre of Florence. That's a no-no, and it can result in sizable fines. Let me tell you, we're talking about thousands. So I won't be venturing there at all, but on this side of the Arno, away from the historical centre, it's okay to put it up as long as I'm respectful and conscious of the privacy of people. Don't fly it over groups of people and so on. And they're your basic, sensible expectations put upon drone usage in Italy here. So if it's over 250 grams, you do register it, but you also have to have an insurance policy as well. So it's not that easy, is it? Out in the countryside where the drones would be used extensively for those landscape shots, go for it. This is great behind a bike, behind a skier and so on. I really do rate the Hover Air. Look, I've got no affiliation with the company. I bought this out of my hard-earned, but I'm really enjoying just experimenting with it. It's got omni terrain, which means I can fly it over water. Having said that, I'm very, very nervous doing that. Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you. Don't think I've just got the drone out and I'm flying it around without any thought. There's registrations that occur. So in the episode you'll see I do put it up above this wall where there's a lovely garden, and I'm not going in and peering into the lives of people. It's just getting that landscape view, and I have captured some glorious images of the skyline of Florence early in the morning. I think you will enjoy that, so look out for it. Okay, so the old hover air back in the pocket, and it's easy as that, and let's head up to that gate. Andiamo, let's go. Now that's an impressive structure, isn't it? Built in 1330 or thereabouts. So I'm on a busy little roundabout just outside the wall, and you can imagine how busy it would have been at that main gate with farmers, pilgrims, merchants, even popes walking through. Now I'm facing south, and that's the direction of Siena and Rome. I'm going to show you two more gates, one not too far away, down at San Frediano, and the other at San Niccolo. You know what? I love the Oltrarno quarter of Florence. It's on the southern side of the Arno River and includes districts or suburbs like Santo Spirito, San Frediano, and San Niccolo. It's quite authentic, just like this fantastic gate, the Porta Romana, the gate to Rome. And what about these timber doors? So authentic. You know what? Original timber doors. Only 700 years old or so. Just amazing, isn't it? I'll use my phone and zoom in and give you a real good look at what these doors are like, up close and personal. Now you can see some trapdoors up there, so any unfriendly visitors might have had rocks, big heavy stones dropped on their head, or perhaps some boiling tar. Use your imagination. Whatever can be dropped out of those trapdoors we'll probably use at some stage. So the Florence municipality put on this small group tour of the gate, only over summer, so you really have to be here during September, I guess. Tickets are quite cheap at €6, and it's just a short tour. We'll be walking along the top of the wall there and explore the gate itself, so it's going to be fantastic. Now the Porta Romana gate, back in the day, only had the one entrance, and we can see two pedestrian type entrances that have been added at a much, much later date. Now, if you go through the main entrance, turn left, you'll enter the Michelangelo Boulevard, which takes you all the way up to the Piazzale Michelangelo, that wonderful viewpoint that will be visited by most people who come to Florence. The gates here, not as popular, but I certainly do encourage you to come and visit the Porta Romana gate, as well as the gate down at San Frediano, which is not too far away at all. So original, and on the historical side of Florence, the northern side of the Arno River, There are no traces of the defensive wall at all, except for 2 or 3 towers. For you see, in 1865 to 1871, Florence was the capital of Italy, and Giuseppe Poggi at the time was commissioned to really modernise Florence. Now, good decision, bad decision, he decided to tear down most of the 8.5 kilometre or 5-mile wall that surrounded Florence. So on the northern side of the Arno, you won't find any of the wall. Bit of a shame, isn't it? What are your thoughts on that? Look, I've done a bit of research myself, and a lot of modern day historians are really lamenting that decision. You know, it's a great loss of Florence's heritage, the authentic stone defensive wall that surrounded the entire city. In its place on the northern side is a ring road. That's the price you pay. Okay, so we'll leave the Porta Romana now and we'll head along the western part of the wall down to the gate at San Frediano. So it's in the Oltrarno district of Florence on the southern side of the Arno, and this is a walk, if you've got time, that I encourage you to do. Walk up from the Ponte Vecchio, the old bridge, to the Porta Romana, the Roman gate, and then follow the wall along back down to the Arno, which will take you to the western side of Florence. And look, we get a really good idea now, don't we, of the true height of the wall that did surround Florence in its entirety back in the 14th century. Imagine just how many labourers, stonemasons were working on this particular project. And look, it took a long time, no doubt, to complete the wall, but look at the extent of it. And can you see what I mean? It's a great shame, isn't it, that the original wall was torn down on the northern side of Florence under the direction of Giuseppe Poggi. And as I said earlier, you know, present day historians in particular sort of do lament that that decision was made. You know, a big part of Florence's heritage has certainly been lost. Having said that, there's still so much history here to see in Florence. So as you walk along the wall from the Porta Romana down to San Frediano, on my right hand side there's also a wall that's keeping me out from having a look at this beautiful garden, apparently a private garden, and you can see they've got a fortress in there, turrets and so on. I'm really keen to get in to have a look around, but being a private garden, I won't be able to do that. So I thought I might come back early one morning, put the drone up, and let's just have a look and see what is on the other side of this fence. I'm sure you're curious too. So I did come back, and let's have a look at the footage right now. So here at San Frediano, with the main gate about 100 metres in that direction, and a smaller gate which is relatively new, they've punched a hole in the wall. The gates here face Pisa, and one of Florence's main historic enemies back in the day. So through these gates we would have had merchants, pilgrims, farmers bring in olive oil, wine into the Oltrarno district here. Probably bringing in some disease, you know, during the plague times and so on as well. But the wall is beautiful here, and I certainly do recommend you come for a walk from the historical centre. It's only about 10 minutes. Have a look at the wall here and the gates, and then head up towards Porta Romana. Then you can head back down towards the Ponte Vecchio. It's a lovely little walk I encourage you to take on. And as you walk through, say, Santo Spirito, you'll find some lovely authentic cafes as well. So I'll put a map up right now, and you can see that it's not a big walk for you. It'd be very, very enjoyable, and I do recommend you do this. Now the third gate is over at San Niccolo, and you will walk through that, I'm sure, when you do the walk up to the Piazzale Michelangelo, which gives you a wonderful view across the skyline of Florence. And you know what? Giuseppe Poggi, who pulled these walls down, had that Piazzale built. So there you go, he did some good things. Now you might not find your way up to the Porta Romana, but coming off the Ponte Vecchio like we are now, and if you turn east or left and walk along the Ono River, you'll come to the Porta San Niccolo, that tower that you cannot miss if you've been here to Florence. Just above it is the Piazzale Michelangelo. And another route you could take to reach Piazzale Michelangelo, that beautiful sunset viewing point overlooking Florence, is through the Porta Miniato, the gate that takes you up to the Basilica of Miniato. Now we're currently walking along Via dei Bardi, and this will take us up to San Niccolo, and at San Niccolo we'll find the lovely Porta Miniato. It's a lovely spot of Florence, and for most people who visit Florence, it's definitely a location that you will visit. Most people probably would not get up to the Porta Romana or the gate at San Frediano, which I've already shown you. So I'm in San Niccolo now. It's quite a nice little spot with some authentic looking restaurants. I've eaten here once or twice and really did enjoy it. But we're here to check out the Porta Miniato, which is just behind me. So we're going to walk through, not all the way up to the Piazzale Michelangelo, by the way. But let's get a bit closer so you can check it out. This is a recommendation, and look, you will come to this area of Florence if you visit, for sure.
A gente pega o perônio.
Big fan of San Niccolo. There's some lovely little restaurants and watering holes, bars, that you could find on your journey up to the Piazzale Michelangelo, the fantastic lookout that will give you a great snapshot of the skyline of Florence. Now, just a short walk from San Niccolo, we come to the Porta San Niccolo. So this particular gate was put in place to really protect against any invaders coming along the Arno River from the east, perhaps down from the hills in Fiesole. Now, no walls attached to this particular porta or gate, the tallest tower still remaining in Florence. However, there's some beautiful walls, original walls that you'll see at the Porta Miniato that I've just shown you. Now, let's go get a little bit closer. Andiamo, let's go. And look, if you've enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next episode. Ciao.